There are 30 secret features in the official guidebook for Biohazard 3, and it boldly claims you can't know everything about the game without reading this. But before we get into it, I found some new Easter eggs hidden in plain sight, like one worker at Capcom's desperate plea for better food. Take a look at this sign and you can just make out the Japanese text. It reads, Capcom Teishoku Mazui Kare Rice Shashoku Nantoka shite kure onegai shimasu, which basically means, please do something about Capcom's awful curry and rice. And we may have a hint which discerning developer immortalized the distasteful dish. Just like how director Aoyama Kazuhiro's name is in the background as Blue Mountain, with Ao meaning blue and Yama meaning mountain, you can see River Wide, which is likely another Japanese to English name. However, I couldn't find anyone in the credits with the last name having those meanings. After talking to some friends here in Japan, it's possible it's a nickname with one kanji from the family name and one from the given name, which lines up nicely with texture designer Kusukawa Hiroyuki, Kawa meaning river and Hiro meaning wide. Although I couldn't confirm how his name is written in Japanese, and it could be just a coincidence. There are in fact way more developer name Easter eggs spread about Raccoon City. Check out the TV and you'll see Kurahashi at the bottom. This is likely Kurahashi Yuki, a background creator. Kurahashi can also be seen near the beginning of the game on the cardboard box. Not the box that says hakshon, which is a Japanese sound for a sneeze, like achoo. You can see Kurahashi again here, and his first name Yuki is on this sign. And once again on this wall. And he's not alone here either. The inconspicuous 510 has got to be another background creator, Goto Junko, where in Japanese 5 can be read as go and 10 can be read as to. You'll see another 510 later in the game on this book. And I have a feeling Gochi is Goto-san's nickname too. While we're here, thanks to my friend Welsh for pointing out Cool Pizza is a reference to a Japanese politician. In the late 90s, as Obuchi Keizo was running for prime minister, he was described as having all the pizzazz of cold pizza. The person who coined the phrase was political analyst John F. Neufer, and it's likely just a coincidence, but you can find F. John written right here. Below that, returning from RE2 is our old friend Tako-san, which is just an octopus, and was on the can that appears for a brief moment in RE2. Check out my video on that for more RE2 Easter eggs. Strolling through the city, you can find a sign that reads Mode Ohim. Ohim backwards is Miho, which is the same name as background creator chief Hamano Miho. Enter the boutique, and you can see her initials HM. This number right here is another background creator's name. 373 can be read in Japanese as Minami, and is probably Minami Koichi. Outside the boutique, the giant 141 on the wall can be read in Japanese as Ishii, which would be background creator Ishii Naoto. Next to that, the graffiti under the pine is another English translated Japanese name, with Matsu meaning pine and Shita meaning under. This is creature designer Matsushita Yoshinori. Above that, you can't see the full word, but there's a GH and maybe a U, and my guess would be the full thing says rough tree, which would be Araki Kaoru, an interface designer, with the kanji and the surname Araki translating to rough and tree. But I can't say for sure that's what it says. In the same place you can see director Aoyama's name, who's also resting in peace in the cemetery, you'll find another background creator, Hiroki Onishi, written in English. The two characters in Onishi mean Big and West, seen here. Big West is also the name of the hotel, and there are a few more Big West signs here and here. Near the streetcar, I'm sure you spotted the cameo from RE2's effect animator Teshima Yoshiaki. Teshima is Amaset backwards. Heading through the streets, you'll run into Sugi's shop. I'd bet this is named after Sugiyama Hiroshi, another background creator. And if I had to guess, I'd say Naok, or Kei Naok, is another background creator, Katakai Naoki. And just when I thought there couldn't be any more background creators, there's Hara Kei, which is probably Hara Koichiro. Some things are just too blurry for me, like this part at least says Anchin Shiro, which means don't worry or stay calm. Good advice, because it's time to dive into the 30 secret features of the Biohazard 3 guidebook. Some were obvious and some surprised me, but whether you're new to the game or a Raccoon City survivor, here are the secrets Capcom thought you should know way back in 1999. If you meet the right conditions when you clear the game, the boutique key will appear in your item box when you start a new round, which you can then use here. How many costumes you unlock is linked to your completion rank and how many times you've finished the game. So get a D rank on your first playthrough for one costume, and then a B rank on your second round. In total, you'll have 4 costumes. Completing the game on easy will only let you unlock Regina's costume or the Star's uniform. or play it on the PC or Dreamcast, where they're unlocked from the beginning, plus a few extras. The blue shirt costume on Dreamcast is black on PC. If you go through the game files, there appear to be alternate versions of these costumes, and what could be an unused one. There are also different versions of Jill's face. If you like Resident Evil, you probably like item descriptions, so here's how the book describes each costume. The STARS uniform, to which Jill belongs. It's the same costume she wore in Biohazard 1. The battle suit worn by the main character of Dino Crisis, Regina. Jill's hair color and style will also change to match Regina's. Oh, and look what I have. A combination of red shirt and tight white suit. She wears bell bottoms with notches, giving her a 70s vibe. And just a side note, the book actually says a 50s vibe, but that's not the 1950s, that's the Showa 50s of the Japanese calendar, which is the 1970s. A jet black riding suit with scarlet feathers designed on the back. The deep cut chest is sexy. From hat to shoes, the female police officer's miniskirt uniform is colored in blue. A baton and handcuffs are hanging from her waist belt. The book calls the costume Miniskirt Police, which is also a TV show from the late 90s, an idol group, and a video game. If you read all 30 in-game files in the proper order, the blue play manual will change into the hidden file called Jill's Diary. This is a diary written by Jill shortly before the start of the game. It describes what Chris and Jill did after the incident at the Spencer Mansion from Biohazard 1. Don't forget to read the blue and red manuals before picking up any other files. The last file is near the end of the game, so you don't have much time to read it. After clearing the game on hard, you can see an epilogue featuring characters from the Biohazard series. Whose epilogue you unlock depends on how many times you've cleared the game. The characters will appear in this order. Looking into the game files, and there's an alternate version of Jill's epilogue with a few slight changes. Most notably, her face is different, and in this version, Jill has gone to Europe. If you're playing Biohazard 3 and wondering what the star markings are next to your save file, they basically show what you've unlocked. As far as I know, these are only in the Japanese version.
You want stars?
Then play Biohazard 3. From the key config screen, hold the R1 button and press square 3 times. You'll see auto change to manual, and you won't automatically target the enemy. Manual is standard outside of Japan and is recommended for people wanting a thrilling game experience. The code is for the Japanese Biohazard 3, but for Resident Evil 3 you can toggle auto-aim from the menu. If you don't press any buttons, your character will do an idle animation. If you wait about 10 to 15 seconds after the animation begins, there's a 1 in 32 chance to do a hidden animation under the following conditions. The rocket launcher or Gatling gun aren't equipped, health is green, and there are no enemies nearby. If you hold the square or circle button as you approach the door, you don't need to press it again, and the door will seemingly open automatically. You can do this with ladders and stairs, and it could come in handy in situations when every moment matters. However, this doesn't work for picking up items or investigating panels. There are certain places where the map will change when you go up or down stairs. These places are designed so that the map won't change if you walk backwards, even past the point where it's supposed to. So if you back up past the changing point and do a quick turn, it will then change. See if you can find them all.
I'll check over there.
Normally when you move, you make footsteps, but if you rapidly press the X button while moving, you won't make any sounds, and you can approach some enemies without them noticing. It seems to work by tapping the D-pad too. Normally you can't interrupt a quick turn, but if you open the status screen, you will stop in the direction you're facing when you pressed it. The book says once you get used to it, you can use it as a high-speed turning method, but only to the right. Use the rapid fire technique to shorten the intervals between shots. Hold R1 and the fire button. If you press the R1 button before the attack animation is complete, and with the right timing, you can fire the next round quicker. You can try to rapidly press the R1 button with the handgun. When Jill attacks downward with a knife, she will crouch a little. You can use this to dodge a grab from Nemesis, and even dodge a rocket. The book also mentions that doing a crouching shot after a roll will allow Jill to stay below a punch from Nemesis. I can only get punched in the face so much, so here's a picture of what it should look like. While readying your weapon, if you press the fire button after pressing down, you can shoot at a shallower angle than a normal downwards attack, except with a knife. By doing this, you can hit the legs of a zombie further away. If you use the shotgun or Western Custom, you can destroy the legs of multiple zombies in one attack. If they become crawling zombies, you can kill them by changing maps to make them disappear. You can use this to shoot the heads of zombies from a distance with an upwards attack, but it's less likely to succeed than if you aim at the legs. When playing hard mode, time is counted under any circumstance, from the start of the opening movie to the ending. That includes time in the status screen, events, loading, and even when the controller is unplugged and pause is displayed. Normally, you can hold the circle button to fire the assault rifle, but if you press the circle button repeatedly, you can fire a little slower and the zombies will appear to be dancing. The book asks, "It's kinda fun, isn't it?" Equip a gun other than the Gatling gun or rocket launcher, and hold the R1 button to aim. Try repeatedly pressing the D-pad, and you can see Jill as if she's practicing firing a gun. More filler, I see. Number 17 is a little too spicy, so I'll read it later in this video after the kids have gone to bed. If you watch this dog while it's eating, it'll keep moving until it's at the top of the stairs. It keeps eating even though there's nothing there. There's a switch in the restaurant that drains water from the basement. To press it, follow these steps. Before going to the newspaper office, meet Carlos in the restaurant. Select Run into the basement in the live selection that occurs after. Climb the ladder and return to the restaurant. After this, you can press it. But even if you drain the water, there's no real benefit for going back to the basement. Nemesis will appear at the restaurant or on the 3rd floor of the Raccoon Press building and attack Jill. If you go to the road before the restaurant without defeating Nemesis and it follows you, you won't be able to take the compass. In the Mercenaries, when you enter a room with someone in need of rescue,
Don't come any closer!
you can hear that person scream. However, the only exception is behind the Raccoon Press building, where you can hear the screams of a woman on the 3rd floor.
Any objections to my playing hero this time?
After getting the side bag from Carlos, go to the intersection in the shopping alley and you'll see Carlos running away from zombies. However, if you enter the storeroom just before the intersection and change the map before seeing him, you won't be able to see that scene anymore. When you get off the elevator at the hospital, you may be attacked by zombies. If you try and close the doors on them, you can't. Also, if the doors close after an enemy gets on, you won't be able to move the elevator until it is defeated. If you stand in front of the doorway and let the worms attack you again and again, shake them loose to collect them together in this weird vortex. The book says you'll need patience and healing items, and they weren't lying because I spent 20 minutes and the best I could do was about 5.
Are you crazy?
Even if you have nothing equipped, you won't be able to fight barehanded. However, there is a way to see Jill pose in a fighting stance. If you choose jump off the bridge, you'll be surrounded by zombies. But unequip your weapon first, and Jill will pose with her fists. Of course, Carlos appears right after, so you won't be able to see her attack. In the power room, normally the panel can't be used until you've stopped the steam. But you only need to shut off the top one. Just keep pressing the examine button until you get it. You won't take any damage. This will reduce the number of times you press the switch from 9 times down to 2. During the battle with Nemesis' second form in the processing room, there are 5 chemical valves that can be used to attack. However, if you shoot 2 at the same time, the time the solution will flow will be cut in half. Shoot 3 and the time will be 1/3, so it's recommended to shoot them one by one. In the close-up of the rail cannon at the incineration plant, you can see the corpse of a soldier lying on the right side. However, for some reason, the corpse can't be seen on the normal screen. During the battle with Nemesis' third form, when you push the power unit, you won't take any damage the moment the device is connected. The color of the save data icon will change depending on how many stars you've collected. 1 to 5 will be bronze, 6 to 9 will be silver, and 10 you'll get gold. If you go to a place with a low angle and equip Jill with a knife, you might catch a glimpse up her skirt when she attacks. And there's nothing. Not even polygons. But hey, did you see Leon's armpits? And that's the 30 secret features from the guidebook. There are a few new things for me, but I couldn't believe all the developer names hidden in the background. I played about 30 minutes a day, and every single time I played, I found another name. And I really hope the curry and rice in the Capcom cafeteria has improved over the years. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Welsh for his insight here. Check him out at the link below.